Hey folks, it's Glaive here. The last Balance of Power video of 2023 has dropped, and in it, Dave talks about buffs, he talks about nerfs, he talks about some buffs that I like the sound of, and he talks about some nerfs that have already got tongues wagging. So let's get into it. So to start with, in general, Dave believes the overall game balance is getting to a good spot. He feels that just before the drop of Season 3 and the expansion Rise of the Angry Earth, it was probably the period of the best balance for the game so far, and he feels that we're actually getting back to that. Now, obviously with Season 3 came the release of artifacts, and I don't think it's controversial to say that these powerful items have shaken things up quite a bit. That, plus the increase to gear score, has thrown balance out a little, but Dave feels like we're getting back towards where we were, and he seems to be pretty happy with that. One thing he does highlight, which was music to my ears, is pre-made groups in OPR being a big issue. Now, for those players who play this game mode regularly, it's not uncommon to have rounds where your team is well and truly stomped, and pre-made groups are a big contributing factor to this. That Dave and the AGS team are openly highlighting this now is really encouraging to me, personally. And he says that we should hear more about what their plans are to address this with the May announcement. Again, music to my ears, and this May announcement is really starting to sound like something. I certainly hope they can deliver. Continuing with OPR, Dave makes an interesting comment that while ranged play seems to stack up a lot of points in the game mode, it's melee play that stacks up the kills, leading to a place for both playstyles in the game. Bow can feel oppressive at times. Bow PR, of course, is what we've all heard it referred to as. The reality is that bow, I think, is more solo friendly and it's more accessible for players. I play it because I've always been a bow boy. I'd quite like it if other people didn't, because then I don't feel like I'm just playing what everyone else does, but hey ho. The reality is that yes, bow can feel a bit oppressive in OPR and they recognize that, but if you want kills, melee is the way to go. Now for something PvE, and praise the gods, the bow is getting a buff. In higher level mutations and, well, in PvE group content overall, melee is still seen dominating the field, but the team have started to see an increase in bow ranged usage and bow performance in endgame PvE. In an effort to push this momentum and keep things moving forward, both bow and musket will be getting a rebalance, which will result in a buff to PvE damage, while PvP damage output will end up remaining where it is now. Keeping with bow for the moment, a fix is going to be coming to empowering explosive arrow. Now, I was not aware of this, but apparently there's an exploit that allows the player to keep empowering up after that first attack, something that the team has fixed in the upcoming patch. Two changes are coming for Firestaff: a decrease in speed while in flamethrower, and a slight nerf to empowering fireball, which they feel is slightly too strong. Now, I can't really speak to empowering fireball, but as a bow player, flamethrower can feel a bit oppressive as well, so it's nice to see them doing something to address that. Void Gauntlet is getting some love as well. Void Gauntlet's Void Blade is getting a buff to both light and heavy attacks, as they feel despite recent changes, it still isn't quite as strong as they would like. And now, for the big change that has got everybody talking: a nerf to heavy armor loadouts. Now, the reason for this nerf, as Dave puts it, is that the team feels that while light is in a very good place, particularly with ranged, particularly in terms of mobility, and heavy is very, very popular right now, in fact it's PvP meta for most builds, medium is in a bit of an odd spot. Now, this is something I've said a few times myself since I've started playing the game. As far as MMOs go, this is the first time I've played one where medium doesn't really seem to have a natural place. It doesn't have a real purpose in the current meta, and they feel this is an issue. So to distinguish between the armors more, to make them more different, and to widen that gap, the team are looking at increasing the stamina cost of dodges in heavy armor, raising the stamina cost to 55. Now, this means players are going to be faced with a tough choice. Go with heavy armor for the additional protection, or sacrifice some of that protection for a little bit more agility from medium and light. It's kind of how armors should be, but I can understand it's really got the community up in arms. I'm not sure it's the correct change, but I guess we will have to wait and see. It's certainly a meta changing update, so when this patch does come out in early January, we're going to have to see where the chips fall, what the builds are that come out, and see what happens next from there. And that's it from me today. That's the end of the video. I also stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday and Friday evenings UK time. You will find me here. If you found this video at all helpful, please consider liking, subscribing. It will really help this baby YouTuber with the algorithm. And until next time, take care.